Jessie V. So whoa, what the heck is going on here? Yes, I have my Halloween background, and yes, it's mid-September. But you know what, guys? Halloween always comes early for Jessie V. I absolutely love it. So the earlier I can get it started, the better. I actually bought 2 online. This one I'm gonna use until the end of September, and then I'm gonna put up the other one in October. I know there's a lot going on behind me. I didn't realize it would be this hectic. There's a lot of spookiness on either side, so hopefully it's not too distracting. If it is, don't worry, I'll be having a new one in a little while. So because I have this new Halloween background going on, that means until Halloween, I'm going to be making spooky videos. And yes, I make spooky videos regardless of if it's Halloween or not, but you guys are only gonna get spooky videos. And today we're gonna start it off with talking about my haunted music box. Oh, by the way, my shirt says strange because... So I actually thought that I had completely lost this music box. I didn't think I had it anymore, but as usual, when I was looking through my moving boxes in my basement, suddenly I heard the eerie tune of my haunted music box. And I haven't heard this sound in quite a while, and I have no idea who packed this into my moving boxes, but thanks whoever it was, because you scared me. Now, do I know that this is haunted for sure? No, I don't know that for sure, but was I freaked out as a kid because it would turn on by itself constantly? Yes. And what's weird was, and I know this is very cliche, but it would never turn on during the day. It would always be when I was asleep at night. Now, the thing about music boxes is usually when you open the box, that's when it would start playing. But for some reason, even when it was closed, put away in my shelf, in my closet, it would still make the eerie tune. I have no idea how, because the only way it can play music is if, like, the thing is spinning in the box. Actually, I'm just gonna show it to you. I don't even want to be holding it. So basically, when I was a kid, I used to do ballet. I did ballet for 14 years, so actually I did it until my teenage years. I think I started when I was like 4 or something. So I did ballet for a while. Some of you may not know that about me, but I don't remember who exactly gave me this box. I feel like it was my mom. So sorry, Mom, if you're watching, I don't want you to be offended. It's a really nice music box. It's just kind of freaky too. So on this box, you can see sort of this shiny picture of a ballerina sitting on the ground there, and these 2 people dancing in the background. And this picture always reminded me of myself, because back when I did ballet, I was very shy and very to myself because, I don't know, I just didn't really make the effort to make friends because I was too afraid to talk to people. So this is literally like me sitting off in the corner by myself while everyone else dances behind me. Sad story, I know. I was kind of a loner. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you're happy hanging out by yourself, it's good to be independent, right? Right. Anyways, back here is where you wind it up, and then at the front here you just kind of open it. And I'm not gonna wind it yet because I feel like when I open it, it's just gonna start playing music anyway, because it always does. Like, I feel like I've never winded it in my life and it still continues to work. That's why it's freaky. So let's just open it. Are you ready? There's a little ballerina inside. And there's a mirror behind her too, if you can see that. But the song is Over the Rainbow, which, I mean, I love that song. It's a great song, but I mean, ever since hearing it in a music box tune, it's kind of changed my opinion about it. But do you know what's also freaky? I don't know if you guys have ever seen, was it The Conjuring or Insidious? I think it was The Conjuring. But there was that, like, mirror thing. Oh, what does it look like? Let me look it up. I'll try and find a picture of it, but basically, from the movie, there's this mirror toy that, like, when you look in the mirror, apparently a boy is supposed to appear behind you. So I just think it's freaky that, like, you open this and what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to look in the mirror at the girl, like, going around, and I feel like I'm gonna look in this mirror and something's just gonna, like, pop up behind me. Anyways, I don't know, I just thought I would share this box with you because you guys know I like to share whenever I find anything creepy. And what is also weird is that while living in this house, and I've only been here for about I almost said 3 years. 3 months. It hasn't been 3 years yet. I think I just put up 4 fingers for 3 months. I went to school, but there was... scared me. I was literally just filming and I was talking about this really creepy haunted music box that I used to have as a kid, and I literally brought it up and I'm doing the video and I just opened the box and listened to the creepy music, and suddenly the phone rang and it scared. I just jumped on camera. Oh, I'm still filming. I have to stop it. Hold on. Woo! Okay, sorry, I don't even remember what I was talking about. Like, my heart literally raced when I heard that sound. Okay, I think I was saying that a couple nights since I've been here, I have heard the tune go off in the basement. It's very, very faint, and it's just for like, I don't know, 10 seconds maybe, but it's still really eerie. I think there's probably like a glitch or something. Maybe it's not haunted, but it freaks me out because I keep getting texts and phone calls and like, oh, I'm so on edge right now. Anyways though, I came across this haunted music box on eBay, and it's also really creepy, and I thought I would read you guys the story behind it because this is also a real haunted music box. It's selling for $95 and the item is apparently from Michigan in the US, and it basically ships all over the world, so like this person obviously really wants to get rid of it. But here is the story behind it, and it's way creepier than my story. Okay, this item comes from a woman with a love for unique vintage items and says she got more than she bargained for when she purchased this music box. Yeah, apparently. According to her, she acquired this music box at an estate sale and went directly home and placed it in a cabinet in her living room. At this time, she says no one else was home as she lives with her husband and 2 teenage children. She says she then had yard work she planned to do and headed outside to weed out her flower bed, which is in her front yard underneath a big window. She says she was out there for about 10 minutes when a small bird flew directly into the window, breaking its neck. She was startled but removed the bird from the spot and continued when she said another bird flew into the window. Oh my gosh, that's so scary. She began to feel sort of weird about it as she lived there for years and it had only happened a couple times ever, and now there were 2 in a 20-minute time span. She continued on and said no one would ever believe it unless they were there, but 2 more birds flying together smacked right into the window, killing themselves. She was dumbfounded by it and kept the little birds to show her husband when he got home, and after telling him the story, he also thought it was very strange and told her not to be worried about it. She showed her husband her new addition to her cabinet, and he said he had already checked it out and that it was ugly and made a joke about it, saying it was probably possessed. He was probably right. He was laughing about it, but she thought about the birds and felt sick about it. She then says that the next morning, as they sat drinking coffee, another bird actually hit the window, and at that point she was very scared, and so was her husband. She says she sat on the porch for a long time waiting to see if it would happen again, and when it didn't, she taped a few pictures on the window hoping to divert them. She says she was in her kitchen preparing a roast when she heard music coming from somewhere distant, and after looking around she was horrified to discover it was the music box. Oh my gosh, I'm so freaked out right now. She told her husband about it and he told her to throw it away. That night, her son came home and woke them up saying it sounded like someone was downstairs, and as they listened, they can hear walking and talking, at which point her husband actually got his gun out and crept downstairs. And as they waited, he yelled up that it was all clear, and when they were alone, he said, "You know what? That darn cabinet of yours was wide open." When I met her, she was very scared about the whole situation. I took the music box into my home and started with the spirit box session, and the voice that was coming through was clearly malevolent, saying death and many obscenities. I had had many birds that frequent my bird feeder, and after her story, this was one thing I wanted to investigate, and I found that they weren't coming around, and that alone gave me goosebumps, that even the birds knew to stay away. That next morning, I discovered both of my goldfish dead. Oh my gosh. I couldn't believe this, both dead at the same time. I was mad but did not provoke. Over the next 2 days, I experienced a constant feeling of oppression. I had at least 30 bees show up in my home, earwigs, carpenter ants, and so many flies flying outside around my porch that I absolutely could not believe it. Although no birds flew into my home, a dead bird was in my backyard and my dog became sick as well, and I removed the item from my home and life returned back to normal. If you have any pets of any kind or small children, this is not for you. Wow, that is so freaky. And I actually just got goosebumps because there's something I haven't told you guys. It just happened yesterday, but I went down, I'm like freaking out right now because I just talked about my music box. I went down into my laundry room and I have a door that leads to the back porch, and above the door there's like a giant window, and on the window inside my house, on the inside of the window, there were about 30 big black flies just like crawling around the window, and it was absolutely disgusting. Like, I keep my house clean, they wouldn't come from anything like food or whatever, like they were just so random. I called my dad and I was freaking out over the phone, almost crying, because that stuff really freaks me out. I know I told you guys I don't kill bugs anymore, but like when you see 30 30 big black disgusting flies inside your house on your window, you might rethink that a bit. But I was too freaked out and grossed out to even go over and like, you know, try to get them out. So I left my laundry room door open and they eventually all just like flew out of there. But I don't know where they came from at all. And like just the fact that I heard this story and how there was flies in her house and like now I had a swarm in mine randomly. Ugh. And like the noise they make, ew, it's disgusting. Anyway, yeah, that's all for today's video. I'm ending this a little bit unsettled. I thought maybe it would be a bit funnier than it was, but all this is spooky. I told you guys, it's a spooky video. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on this whole situation, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!